Okay, so I wanted to show like the thing that I feel like I can work on the most in Rocket League mad strategies is assists and passing. And so I think part of the reason why I'm not able to do this very often is because my awareness isn't that great, and B, my teammates aren't always in positions where I can see them to make a pass. But I wanted to highlight this from one game, these two moments that that worked out really great. Even though they didn't result in anything, they were perfect setups, both by myself and my teammate who was in the right location. And had we been slightly better positioned, it would have made for instant goals. But it was already quote pro level positioning unquote. Anyway, so without further ado, let me get to it. So first, I'm going to do it from my perspective here, what I saw, and then I'll do it from my teammate's perspective. So I'm coming up the field, and off right there. Here, I'll rewind it another second. So Swansswansswanssosoft right there on the left. I see him coming up the field that way, and as I go back, I'm keeping track of everybody's positioning, like kind of just barely in my head. So as you can see, he's off getting their corner boost up on the left, and meanwhile, so then the ball comes back to me, and this is all happening like super fast. So I was kind of impressed with myself that I was able to at least keep track of it, but you won't always be able to do this. But I knew he was up there, so I passed it that way and just kind of turned away and hoped he would get it. Unfortunately, I don't think anything happened. I think he went for it and didn't get it. I'll show it from his perspective too now. Okay, but the point is, I passed it in. Here, let me fast forward again. So I passed it. It wasn't as perfect as I would have liked, but I passed it more or less in his direction, slightly more towards the enemy goal. That way he could, recorrect it or whatever. Okay, so now from his perspective. Oh, that's him, okay. So I think he whiffs here when he goes for it. Yeah, and then he's up here. Meanwhile, I'm right there, I pass it that way. And my pass wasn't that great, honestly. But the fact that the positioning was in the right situation could have made for an awesome play had the stars been aligned a little bit better, I guess. So if you're keeping, I guess this is a tip to anybody who's watching and also to myself. If you don't have possession of the ball, and especially after you've whiffed or after you've made a play or something and you're going for the enemy team's boost or something, just in general, if you can, keep ball cam on and try and keep track of what's going on the field, because it could be that something like this, I saw him there, so I made a terrible pass, but a pass nonetheless, because I was able to see him there because of his positioning. Were I not able to see him, I don't know if he consciously set himself up for the play or not, but you can consciously set yourself up for plays sometimes. Chances are, let me rewind again. So let's say this situation had gone differently. Let's say he had totally whiffed right here. He was still going to be so far up in this area that there was no point in rotating back to defense right away, because he wouldn't have been able to save any balls that went, that happened. So he did the right thing going for their boost, and so that he was probably in that position unintentionally. but still, it made for a situation where I could see him and make that pass. So I guess just be aware of your surroundings and have ball cam on, so that if a situation like that does occur where your teammate might be keeping track of the game a little bit better than you, but and trying to make a pass or something, you wouldn't know it unless you had ball cam on, or at least we're switching back and forth between them. Anyway, so that's the first one. Let me finish it out so that you see what happens. So he misses, but it was the thought that counts basically, and now everybody's rotating back like they should. Okay, so let me go now to the other one. Very similar situation. So it gets cleared out, and then I see him whiff again up there on the left. Same guy. That I'm not gonna judge him for whiffing. Everybody whiffs at one point or another, but I saw that. I saw him go that way. Sorry, I rewound it too far back. So I saw him go that way, and he's doing the same thing. He's going for their boost now, and he's too far up to rotate back, and so he did the right thing again. But now I know he's up there because I'm like at the midline or whatever, and so now I pass it over to him, and he actually made that was a little bit better pass, and he was positioned better, so he actually made a better shot, which you'll see in a second. But that one was a better example in my opinion, because my pass was better and his positioning was a little bit better too. I think it was less accidental, I guess. Anyway, yeah, the reason my pass was better, I say that, and I should probably clarify. The reason my pass was better was because it was aimed more in front of him. I think part of that was just chance that I aimed it a little bit better in front of him that time. That way he could get to it rather than having to stay in one spot. He'd have to run and get it. Anyway, so that's what it is from my perspective. And obviously, I wait to see what happens with ball cam to see if anything else worth noting happens, so I can adjust as needed. Okay, so now from his perspective. So he goes for it, whiffs again, no big deal. Everybody does that. And then he was about to rotate back, but you see how he has ball cam on? That's what I'm talking about. Is I'm not there. There are so many times when I turn ball cam off. I'm not discriminating against whatever the regular camera mode is. It's a matter of having ball cam on at the right time so you understand what's going on action-wise. Because see how perfectly that pass came in from his perspective? Look at that. I mean, he missed, but that's not... that happens to everybody. Even with the most insane pass ever. Insane pass, insane shot ever. People miss sometimes. Just the fact that it was set up so perfectly. Anyway, I guess the point of this video is for people who are assisting, try and keep your awareness of your teammates up, and this actually doesn't happen as much as you'd think it happens. What was I gonna say? Sorry. It doesn't, you don't get perfect setup like this all the time. But keep your eyes open for teammates that are up ahead of you that you could pass to. Even if they do whiff, they probably have, if you set them up with a nice pass on that, it throws the other team's defense off because they think you're going for a shot, but then it, goes wide or whatever, so they're like, oh, whew. They feel like they're in the clear, but then if it was really a pass, then your teammate's going to finish it off, and they wouldn't have been expecting it, And B, it gives your teammate a chance to shine, which, sometimes you have bad teammates, but whatever, what can you do? And then for the people receiving passes, just keep. I would emphasize that you keep ball cam on, especially for those of us, like me myself, who if I do see you, I will try and pass. If I see an opportunity, I should say, I will try and pass. And I think other people, not everybody, but some people are like that. And I mean, what's the worst that could have happened? He was gonna go for the boost anyway, so he might as well keep his camera open to see what's going on. So basically, like, there's no downside to keeping track of the game and whatnot. Like, I don't know, he shouldn't have frantically gone back, because as you can see, the other guy's there, and I don't know, it's not like he was out of position or something and needed to get back in position. The rotation was right and everything. So anyway, that's all I wanted to point out, was just passing and whatnot. I'm on I was playing with friends, so and for whatever reason they like doing ranked instead of just playing unranked to practice. But so I was on my alternate account, but on my main account I'm only a rising star. And both my friends here in this game were, I think, Challenger 3 or Challenger 2, one of those two. So this isn't some pro level play by any means. It's just something that you can keep your eyes open for. Yeah, that's about it. I don't know if I'm supposed to say, like, this has been Passing 101 with Sedonis, or I don't know.